You're watching Screen Junkies Central. This episode is brought to you by Mafia 3. Family is who you die for.
Andy Signor.
Kyle Rudnick.
Oh my goodness. Screen Junkies Central, make some noise!
San Diego.
Oh man, this is non-stop. One fun panel after another. Dare I say, it's an embarrassment of riches. Andy, are you having a fun con?
I am, and I'm excited for this next show because it looks really funny.
Yeah, this is one of the most unique, cool-looking shows that I've seen come down the pike in a long time.
One of my favorite sitcoms right now is Last Man on Earth. Is anyone watching that one? Oh, it's so good. And Lord and Miller are making that. This is their next new show.
Yeah,
Son of Zorn.
Oh, and we're really lucky to have so many funny people involved in this show. And yeah, I'm really excited. Son of Zorn, we've got so much of the cast, the creators. Let's go ahead and introduce them.
Sure, are we ready? Let's do it.
You know her from Curb Your Enthusiasm. She's the wonderful, talented, funny Cheryl Hines.
Yeah! Welcome. Great to meet you. Watch your step. Come on up.
Hello, great to see you. One of our favorites from Saturday Night Live and so many other great things, Tim Meadows.
Yeah! Oh, wow. Welcome, man. Thank you.
Thanks for being here. The lovely, delightful, you know him, you love him, my friend Johnny Pemberton.
Yes!
Yeah, good to see you, Johnny. And she is one of the executive producers of the show, Sally Bradford McKenna.
Welcome. Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here. And the director of the show, Eric Appel.
Yeah!
Great to see you. Oh, wow. So, you guys, happy Comic-Con. Is this anybody's first Comic-Con?
It's mine.
You're kidding me.
I'm not kidding you.
Cheryl Hines.
I know.
Are you loving it? Is it overwhelming? What's the deal?
It's very entertaining. I like all the costumes and the enthusiasm. I think it's pretty adorable.
Oh, well, you're pretty adorable. If you were going to, and I love you, like I was, I knew you way back when I met you at the Groundlings, because I was over there. And this is such a funny panel, like UCB, Saturday Night Live, just stand-up, everything. But, okay, I want to ask you.
Okay.
If you were going to cosplay as one thing, what would it be, Cheryl Hines?
What's the question?
If you were going to dress up as a character.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Here
at Comic-Con.
Cosplay is where you wear a costume for play.
Costume. Yeah,
Costume play.
Actually, that's what I've been trying to understand is why do people dress up and walk around? Just
Sex stuff.
Okay. Then I'll go with Wonder Woman.
Oh, yeah, classic, right? Awesome. Let's go down the line and everybody tell us, if you were going to cosplay as something, you're not allowed to say ladies, man.
Okay, no, I wouldn't say that. Have you read that comic book called Saga? Yeah.
All right.
I would want to be the guy, he's dead now, I think, actually. Spoiler alert. What's his name? The Brent? You guys know what I'm talking about? I can't think of his name.
Somebody, a lot of these.
He's the one, wore a trench coat. He was a killer. He was looking for the... Yes.
Okay, so you go around as the guy who stole a baby.
Yes, I can't think of the
Sexy.
character's name. I
So
want to say it's the
sexy.
Brent or something like that.
Right on.
I'll look it up.
Deep cut, though.
Yeah,
Kudos, yeah.
totally. Johnny P?
Deep cut.
I would probably be Deep Cut, the famous
Love Deep Cut.
famous superhero Deep Cut. He searches all through the vinyl shops of America, finding the greatest forgotten B-sides. Deep Cut, or Carmen Electra.
Or Carmen Electra. That'd be great. I'll be the Dennis Rodman to your Carmen Electra
Okay.
if you let me. Sally?
I think I'd probably do Spider-Man just because it's my kid's favorite, but hopefully something from Son of Zorn maybe next year.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Hopefully there'll be a lot of Son of Zorn cosplay next year. And Eric, what would you dress up as?
I think I'd be alternate 1985 Biff Tannen from Back to the Future 2.
Awesome.
Or Donald
Awesome
Trump,
choice.
basically.
I love that. So this is a brand new show. Tell us a little bit about the conceit of this show, merging live action with animation and the story behind it.
The character's name is The Will, by the way. That's the character's name.
We have moved on to Meadows.
No,
Yeah, let's talk about
Nobody
Tim's
cares
costume
about the
choice
baby
for the rest
killer. We're trying to move on to Son of Zorn.
All right.
What's that?
What was the question
What's
again?
that show about, Cheryl?
The question is, what's that? What is Son of Zorn?
Well, it's one of the first hybrid live-action animated shows. Thank you, Cheryl. You're welcome. And it's basically a family show, but just at the center of it, it's we've one animated character, Zorn, voiced by Jason Sudeikis, and he's just coming back to reconnect with his ex-wife and his son, and her new
These two.
fiance. And yeah, we're just really excited for people to check it out soon.
Yeah, it's like a world where like an old '80s style action cartoon hero has a family of real live action people. It's very weird. It's a bizarre show to explain. Yeah.
Just the concept is so awesome, though. It's insane. And tell us about the influences. Obviously, I would think 80s animation, He-Man, or.
Yeah, basically all of those, Thundar the Barbarian,
Yes.
Conan the Barbarian,
What
Thundercats.
about Thundercats? Oh, yeah, Thundercats.
Yeah. He's kind of
Chitara.
a combination. The animation style. By the way, Titmouse is our animation studio. If people know Titmouse, they're amazing. It's sort of a combination of like all these old cartoons that we grew up watching and fell in love with. It's this classic like 2D animated style. And it's like almost like Roger Rabbit integration, with
Yeah.
the
Which is
live
a
action
crazy.
footage.
I think it looks awesome, and it looks like how did that get on the air? But I imagine it's Lord and Miller, right? Which are amazing, talented. What's it like working with them?
They're amazing to work with.
They've
Yeah.
been so much more involved than you'd expect them to be based on how busy they are, but they've been very, very invested and very involved, and it's been great.
Yeah, notes on all the stories, all the cuts, and they weigh in on basically everything, and yeah, they're really, really great
Chill.
guys to work with. And if not for them, like this show, it's such a bizarre show. The track record those guys have, like they are the reason that this show got made. It's a real leap to do a crazy show like this, but they make things work that people are normal. Yeah, that shouldn't work basically.
That's awesome. And I just wonder, logistically, on the day of shooting, so Jason Sudeikis voices Zorn, right? Is he actually there, or do you have just like a guy in like a green suit with like motion or what?
Well, we actually have Dan Lippert.
Dan
who's
Lippert!
from the UCB Theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. Dan Lippert. It's such a complicated process. When we shoot the show, so we have this actor, comedian, Dan Lippert, plays Zorn on set.
And he's a tall dude. What is he, 6'5"?
He's
Yeah.
like 6'7", maybe?
Yeah.
Close to 6'7"? Yeah. So we shoot a rehearsal take with him.
Well, you should say what he's wearing.
Yeah.
He's wearing like a Hans and Franz style, like
He's wearing
gray
a muscle
sweatsuit.
suit, like a gray muscle suit. It looks ridiculous.
No weight belt, but
Not green. It's gray.
No, because he's
yeah,
not.
because we don't actually shoot with him. We shoot a take with him for reference, and then we set eyeline marks, and these guys basically act against.
How hard is
nothing.
that for you guys?
It's very difficult.
It's kind of hard sometimes, especially when Zorn is walking around the room because we're supposed to remember points on the wall of where we're looking when Zorn's talking. And we're looking at nobody and we're talking to nobody.
So that's when we do this. We do like, he's crossing, and now look at him when he's.
Well, later in the
That's the
season,
cheat.
Dan he'd be in the middle of a line, and suddenly he'd be like crossing to fridge.
I'm sitting and standing, and we're like, oh.
Who's harder to work with, Zorn or Larry David?
Larry David. Right on.
Wow. We actually have a clip of Son of Zorn, so let's take a peek.
Yeah, see it.
I'm on my way to Orange County to see my wife and kid. They're gonna be so pumped. Nothing more emotional than a soldier coming home, am I right? By the way, I'm Zorn. Defender of Zephyria, conqueror of the tribes of Aegon, decapitator of the Dark Herdsmen of... I know you're fake sleeping. Zorn!
You haven't seen us in 10 years.
It's hard to even have this conversation right now because I want a Hot Pocket so bad, and it's all I'm thinking about.
No,
What? I can't get them where I'm from.
Mom says you got a job in town at some place called
Sanitation Solutions. My boss looks and talks exactly like a woman. He carries a purse, he uses tampons.
Zorn, can I speak to you for a second?
What you're describing is a woman.
No, son, you're not listening. He's my superior. Hey, you're a good guy.
ex-husband of Edie.
Remember that time we had that fivesome with those mountain trolls?
That was the old me, sex
Yeah?
with the mountain trolls.
A lot of fun.
Sworn enemy of Craig.
This is my fiance.
Fiance.
Zorn, it's obvious that you're applying way too much pressure to my hand right now, and actually it hurts.
It does.
Assistant of Linda.
Looks to me like it was done with a giant sword. Do you know anyone in the office who would do something like this?
First thought, Margie and HR.
There is nobody named Margie who works in this office.
Oh. Look, I know I haven't been the perfect father, but Elengulon is still my son. If I could just get him out there on the battlefield, I know he'd love it. What do you think? It's all yours. Now look, it's an older model, but it handles great on murder swoops. I mean, you're the world's greatest dad. What do you think I should do?
I know you haven't always had a great relationship with your dad, but he got a job, he got an apartment, he freed all his slaves. I think he's really making an effort to change.
Food whore! Waitress! Yeah, we're gonna both have the ribeye.
How would you like that cooked?
Not, I think. Not, right?
I'm a vegetarian.
What the hell is happening?
Alan, I said no.
What? Why?
Fly, son! Fly away!
You know what you got? You got passion. You got fire in you.
Check this out. Hey, look at that.
You can't be in here with
What?
that.
Yeah,
No,
what?
seriously,
Can I
guys.
kill you with it?
Oh my
Kill you.
God.
I'm gonna kill you. Hey.
Zorn, if you don't get rid of this thing right now, I'm calling animal control.
Oh, no. This bird would kill animal control.
I'm not kidding.
Fine. Jeez.
What the hell?
Oh, what? It was painless. Didn't feel a thing. I've done this a billion. Uh-oh, here we go.
This is what you do, Zord.
Oh,
You're gonna
okay,
come
yeah.
in here,
Oh, yeah,
make
tell
a
me
big
everything
mess,
about
and then
me.
disappear,
Yeah,
and
please.
who's left to clean it up?
Wow.
Weird.
Did you have any idea like how funny it was gonna actually? It must be weird acting and then seeing it, right?
First time I've seen it. Looks good, Eric.
No, it,
looks really good.
yeah, it is good. No, it is. It is really weird seeing it because, like we said, we when we shoot it, we're like talking to no one. Like we're like yelling at an X on a wall, you know, or you're like talking really nicely to an X, and it's like it's a really weird. You know, one thing that's really good is that Barry will have he'll have a sort of a rough animation. The show is sort of like
He's
what's
one of our
happening.
animation directors.
Yeah, and so that way we get a feeling for like you know what's happening in the scene. You know, so that's been really helpful.
Yeah, and so, sometimes there are animated objects, which is also adds to the crazy.
Yeah, there's a
Right.
lot of
Yeah.
interactivity. These
So,
guys hold cartoon
yeah,
things.
we're-
Zorn holds real things.
How much
Yeah.
Pass them
cartoon
back and
stuff
forth.
does he have? Like, are we? And could we go to his cartoon world? You think?
If you ask
Ooh,
Titmouse
Right
too
now?
much.
Yes.
Do it.
Let's close our eyes and go to Zephyria.
But I imagine that if this goes well, which it looks like it's gonna, like, there's a lot to explore in both the real and cartoon universe.
Yeah,
we're
throughout the
mostly-
season.
Mostly in this world, but we can see little snippets.
Take them
of-
to his world. Oh, season 2.
Yeah, we
That
might
would
see
be a
little
lot
snippets.
easier to shoot. We
I
just
know.
put them on green screen. Oh my God, that'd be a dream. Then the animators have to deal with all of it. And
I mean, but there are a lot of guest star animated characters on the show. So sometimes not only do we have Zorn, but we have his date. So now you're looking at two non-existent.
2 X's on the wall.
yeah, and on set now there's 2 people in gray sweatsuits, so it really is Hans and
really
Franz.
weird.
One time there was 3.
Yeah, it's
Oh
weird.
God,
we
yeah,
had
yeah.
3 gray sweatsuits one time. Pretty
th-
cool, huh?
So it looks freaking hilarious, but the show like actually deals with some heavy stuff, an absentee father and husband. How grounded do you keep it, or is that a tough balance to address those type of issues as well as killing a giant bird?
It has been a tough balance. I think what we've always tried to do is keep it grounded and relatable, and kind of all the stories really stem from a relatable place. And then the challenge has been we keep wanting to push it further and further, and we try and pull it back. But at the core of it, it really all is relatable stories. Like one thing is we have Zorn, an ex-girlfriend comes back, like a toxic girlfriend, except she actually is radioactive. So it's kind of like it's stories you'd see on other shows, but it just has this unique twist.
And there's one episode too where one of Zorn's friends come to visit us, and we find out that he has a problem with alcohol. And so it's this animated character who's actually an alcoholic. So it's pretty, but it's like we deal with it like sort of like you would deal with the character for real, like if it was a real person.
Yeah, and just like with that bird too, it's, the tone of our show would be real easy to go super big and he's killing this bird and everybody's freaking out, but they're just annoyed that he's making a mess in the driveway. Like in the reality of this show,
It's way funnier that way.
There's an island of, this island of cartoon characters, that are in this like fantasy world that Zorn comes from. And that's just the reality that everyone buys into. So people are aware of these things. Maybe they've never met anyone from Zephyria or seen one of these birds in person, but it's not like a big, crazy,
It's like a person from Maine. Like, you don't know any people from Maine.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone from Maine.
How do they act in Maine? I don't
even know. I mean, it's probably pretty normal, but I don't know.
But this stuff is reminiscent of, it's from like a genre.
Yeah. We play off a lot of tropes of, from family sitcom type shows. Like the bird showing up, it's almost like bringing a new car to like impress your son.
Yeah.
And I mean, as a parent, everyone just tuned out. But it is interesting because when you're growing up and you're a teenager and you have parents that embarrass you all the time, it's hard. And on this show, like, we kick it up a notch because not only does he have me, but
embarrassing.
But now Zorn, shows up at his high school to help him, or Tim will show up to help organize the prom. But just humiliating things that people would not want. But because it's Son of Zorn and the writers are amazing, they can take it to a heightened reality where everyone can step back and laugh at your pain.
Hey Johnny.
My pain, it's all my pain.
Tell us about the most painful memories you tap into to get in touch with your character.
You don't want to know those. It's too much. Honestly, I don't want to talk about it.
Come on, let's get sad.
Hey!
Let's all tell our saddest story right now.
Okay, when I buried my dog because my dad wasn't home. That was the thing. I had to bury the dog.
I thought I was setting you up for a bit.
I don't have any...
Literally.
Yeah, I couldn't think of any bits I got saved up.
Johnny.
Yeah.
You're an actor. You're a true actor.
Thank you.
Yes. It also reminds me a little bit of like just taking a character like this, a little bit of some Harvey Birdman. What other shows like tonally? I mean,
You had
it
to borrow
definitely
some
is
He-Man,
unique.
right?
Well, I'm not specifically. I mean, it's all from that
genre.
From that genre, not not
ER is a big influence.
I think a lot of people see it and ask that He-Man question. I think when you see the show and see especially how Zorn behaves, you will not draw that comparison at all.
Yeah, He-Man is such a
so
nice
squeaky
guy.
clean.
Very nice.
He-Man would never. I never thought about that. Yeah, He-Man really is boring.
Yeah.
He's like
Zorn's
such a
more,
boring guy.
in Zephyria where Zorn lives, he's like a conqueror and he's kind of the hero of his own story, but he's not necessarily like a squeaky clean, like good guy.
No,
he's a barbarian.
He killed a bird in the
warrior,
pilot.
Yeah.
He's not a good guy.
What's Zephyria like?
Well,
Like, would I want to go on vacation there?
No, the life expectancy is what, 8 hours?
Yeah, the life expectancy is 8
In
hours.
Zephyria, yeah. So it's a very violent place, and all they do is kill each other and destroy everything there.
Yeah, Zephyria is an island that exists in the Pacific Ocean. It's this just surrounded by real water, but it's this cartoon island. And there's, ice caves, and there's lava pits, and there's
Glom beasts.
Staff
Glom beasts are like the generic thing that Zorn always kills. It's sort of like the like a goblin or something. Like the first level of a video game. It's the thing you just hack and slash.
Yeah.
I think that's what Glom beasts are.
Sure.
To me, that's what they are. They can be anything.
But there's a lot of killing in Zephyria. It's a lot like Detroit. Thank you. Good night, everyone.
That's awesome. And how many episodes are in the first season?
13.
13.
You mean in the can?
Yeah. How many episodes you got in the can?
We got 13 in the can, right?
That's the crazy thing about the show. We shot all of it. Just this complicated process. We finished shooting maybe a month ago. Yeah. But we're only up to episode 5. They've only started animating maybe up to episode 4 or 5. So it's like making 2 shows. It takes a full year to make 13 episodes. We have a normal shooting schedule for the 13, and then it's like show number 2 starts, the animated portion of it.
Wow, and when does it premiere?
September 25th, right after The Simpsons.
September 25th.
On Fox.
September 25th.
Yeah.
September 25th.
Hey, September 25th.
September
25th.
Let's all be there.
Yes.
All right, you guys, this was super fun. Thank you for taking time out of your Comic-Con to come and visit with us. And what an amazingly talented, funny cast and creators. Thank you. Let's have a round of applause for Son of Zorn.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you for watching.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks again to Mafia 3 for sponsoring this episode. To watch our previous show, click the box to the left. And to see everything from Screen Junkies Central, click the box to the right.